Hey guys, so right now I'm gonna make a zucchini lasagna. It's gonna be great, so watch it all the way to the end. It's very simple, easy recipe to make a pretty healthy zucchini lasagna. So check this out. All right, so for your zucchini lasagna, obviously you're gonna need your main ingredients, zucchini. So you need at least 3 of them, and we're gonna slice them. So I got a slicer here, and we're gonna slice them lengthwise. We need 2 pounds of ground beef. We need some Italian sausage. We're gonna need an onion. We're gonna need 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, 2 eggs. We need 28 ounces of diced tomatoes, and we need about 8 ounces of tomato paste, some coconut oil. As far as the seasoning, we have sea salt, cayenne pepper, oregano, dried oregano, and we're also going to use some dried basil leaves. All right. So the first step is we're going to start slicing and the zucchini lengthwise, and what that's going to do is we're going to put that in a pan, and those are going to be the layers. Instead of using pasta, you're going to use lasagna. I mean, as a zucchini, and you're going to put the meat and everything else, and kind of use it that way. So, all right. So let's get started. Okay, so one of the first steps was I cut off the ends. I washed these, cut off the ends. So I'm about to start slicing the zucchinis. I cut these in quarters, the onions, and because I'm gonna actually put it in this processor to mince it. That's what I'm gonna do. And then obviously the garlic we minced. I went ahead and drained the tomatoes. While I start the rest of it, I'm gonna put my oven at 350. Because I'm gonna need that later on, so I'm gonna get that going. So next step for me is gonna be this right here, the zucchini. So I'm gonna start slicing those to get my layers. So again, this is substituting pasta. Instead of pasta, you're gonna use zucchini. All right, so I just want to show you real quick. So as you take these, you're just gonna actually slice it, and so this thing's it's the coolest thing ever. So it makes it easy. And this is what the layers of zucchini are going to look like. So you want it about that thick, right there. And that's what we're going to be using instead of pasta again to layer this lasagna. So again, it's the zucchini lasagna. All right, so for the next step, I added 3 tablespoons of coconut oil into this pot. And I'm about to saute the onions. These are all the minced onions, so they're going to get very almost liquidy. So but anyway, so we're gonna do that. While that's going on, I already have my minced onions, and I have my spices all together because I'm gonna throw it in all together. So this is 3 tablespoons of dried oregano, 3 tablespoons of dried basil, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and then 1 teaspoon of sea salt. So that's what's happening right now. So I'm about to start throwing my onions in here. Oh, I need something to mix it with. All right, so time to throw in the onions. Turn them around. This smells good already. It's gonna be awesome. All right, so once the onions are translucent, we're ready to add the meat. So we're gonna add 2 pounds of ground beef, and then 1 pound of the Italian sausage, and then I'm gonna combine it with, I'm gonna add the onions and spices. Then I'm gonna cook it. I'm gonna get it all browned up. Once it's all browned up, then I'm gonna add the diced tomatoes, and then 8 ounces of tomato paste. All right, so now the meat is in here. So the sausage is at the bottom, ground beef on the top, and all the spices are there. So I'm gonna mix it up, get it all cooked up, and then once it's all brown, then I'm gonna add the tomatoes. All right, so the meat is done. I'm gonna add the tomatoes, the diced tomatoes, and the paste, and then I'm gonna mix it up again. So again, we have the tomato paste and the tomatoes, diced tomatoes in here. I'm gonna mix it up very well. Then I'm gonna start doing the layers of zucchini there. and then putting this, the meat, and layering it up. And then at the end, I'll show you where the eggs come in play. There's 2 eggs, so I'll show you what those are for. And then I'll put them in the oven for 45 minutes, and then that's it. So more to come. Smelling great. All right, so now I'm gonna start doing my layers of zucchini, and there's really no perfect way of doing it. No right or wrong way. You just start putting it there. Just not even have to overlap in reality. So you're just gonna get a bunch of layers. It's gonna be my first layer, and then once you do your first layer, you see how there's a gap here that's forming in the middle. So what I'm gonna do is in a little bit I'm going to put another kind of overlap a middle layer, just to cover it all up. Alright, so I'm going to ladle some of the meat, and then I'll start another layer after that. And it's just simple, don't make it anything fancy. Just get the meat, put it in there, mix it up, kind of spread it around, then you're going to put another layer and then more meat. So I've got, it's time to start with my second layer. It's the same thing. You just start adding, this is going to be your last layer, and then we're going to do the last, put the meat over it, and that'll be pretty much, we're almost done. So it seems like a lot of work, but it's not, and it's definitely worth it. Once you taste it, it's awesome. Alright, so more to come in just a minute. Alright, so at this point I just poured the rest of it. And again, I'm just going to make my final spreading of this meat here. And then again, I know you're wondering, what about the eggs? So I'll show you what we're doing with the eggs in just a second. Alright, so here's where the eggs come in. So we got the 2 eggs, we whisk them, and then you just kind of pour it on top. And it's going to create kind of, evenly kind of spread it out. And it's going to almost create an appearance of a layer of cheese, and so that's kind of neat. There's no cheese in this, but you just kind of move it around to make sure that it's kind of spread evenly throughout. Okay, so the last thing is going to be to put it in the oven. So you cover it with aluminum foil. Oh man, this is nice and warm down here. Put it in there, center rack. Get this baby going for 45 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna enjoy me a nice little beer while it's cooking. So I'll come back when it's ready. All right, here's the final product, and here's my lasagna, zucchini lasagna. I'm gonna have a seat here and enjoy this nice zucchini lasagna. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you try it, let me know what you think.